There you go. I was muted for a second. Oh, nearly did a KG. Oh, this is what happens. This is what happens. Oh, this is what happens when I'm left to my own devices. Oh, God. Oh, God. Anyway, good morning, guys. Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well, having a good Tuesday morning. Of course, it's the day after the night before. The Liverpool Keith said it. It's KG settings. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I can get your comments up on the screen this morning. We'll get better. We'll get better. It will be fine. Nevertheless, guys, welcome back. Good morning. Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone's doing very well. As I mentioned, it's the morning after the night before. It's the morning after that absolutely brilliant victory over Liverpool yesterday, and we've got plenty to talk about regarding all of that. We're going to talk about some transfers. It's going to be a bit of a different show this morning. It's going to be a slightly different one because Flex and Josh, they're travelling back from Old Trafford. I don't know if it's as we speak, but they are going to be travelling back from Old Trafford today. So that's why you're left with Flex's friend in the hot seat this morning. So we're going to be talking about transfers. We're going to be talking about Antony. We're going to be talking about Antony and Gakpo as United's final choice. We're going to be talking about Eric Bailly as well, as Fabrizio Romano has just done the here we go for his loan move to Marseille. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kevin Trapp as well. Eintracht Frankfurt goalkeeper possibly coming into Manchester United being interested in the goalkeeper too. Talk a little bit about Cristiano Ronaldo and his desire to leave Manchester United being pretty undeterred and probably cemented a little bit by being named on the bench last night by Erik ten Hag in that 2-1 victory over Liverpool. So there's plenty to get into, but I say it's going to be a bit of a different show. The reason it's going to be a bit of a different show is not just have we got the transfer news that we're going to discuss and disseminate this morning, but we've got some clips from yesterday too. So we're going to play Flex's view after the game last night. We're going to show you once again, if you missed it, prior to the game, of course, there was the protest before the Liverpool game. We're going to show you a video from that and Flex's kind of commentary, shall we say, on what was going on at the time, and a bit of an update if you missed that. So we're going to play that too. We're going to share Marcel's view, Cam's view. So it's going to be a nice, fun, interactive show this morning. And as I mentioned, it's going to be a real fun, interactive show. So get your comments in. We'll get them up on the screen. Smash a like on the like button. Subscribe bottom right-hand corner. A bit of housekeeping first also before we do get into things. As I mentioned yesterday during the match view, we are going for some content awards this year. Yes, the Football Content Awards. Now, at the moment, we're in the sort of the nomination stage. So there's sort of 2 rounds of this. You have to be nominated by your community or by people, and then that gets to the final stage where people vote on the people that made it to the final stage. So there are a couple of categories which we think we would be best suited for this year. That being Best New Content Creator, Best Content Creator, and Best Club Content Creator. Now, you can nominate us by a couple of different means in the description box. One, we've actually picked out these categories, and you can just go to the Instagram page. You can click there, you can tag us in that. That's nominating us for that award. Or if you just want to nominate us for anything, you can go to the website, which is footballcontentawards.com/voting. That is footballcontentawards.com/voting, and you can vote for us there as well. So as I mentioned last night, it's wild. Myself, have been here for part of the channel really for about just over a year now, and the community that has already grown here is unbelievable. I honestly, I have to pinch myself every day. It's fantastic. It really is. It's all about opinions, being respectful while having opinions, and getting involved. And honestly, it is nothing without you guys. Truly, it is nothing without you guys. It makes doing shows like this just a pure pleasure. So we really, 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 truly do appreciate all of your support. It's really much appreciated. And I know I can't speak for Flex and all the other people on the channel, but it really is tremendous. So thank you very much. Anyway, guys, let's get straight into the transfer news this morning. And let's start off talking about Antony. And it really is amazing, isn't it? What one result can do to sort of the perception of a squad. Now, I'm not saying that just because we beat Liverpool last night, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, we don't need to sign any players. We still need to sign players, okay? That is factually accurate. We still need to sign players. We still need to get players through the door. We still need to get players out of the door at Manchester United. One, of course, we know is Antony. And the feeling is that this move could indeed happen. Laurie Whitwell on the Talk of the Devils podcast has said, quote, "I've heard from people in Amsterdam that Antony is pushing for a Manchester United move. It's a key thing." It continues, "I've heard some suggestions that United will go back to the Antony deal with a fresh bid. €80 million offer made last Wednesday, which of course was rejected. So the feeling is that despite that bid being rejected last week, Manchester United most likely will go back in for another bid for the Brazilian winger. Now, Erik ten Hag, according to Laurie Whitwell, but this is just true, Erik ten Hag clearly knows Antony, and he would be hopeful to get another player in. And we'll talk about Cody Gakpo in a second. But the Antony situation, this is why I find it funny. As I mentioned, it's amazing what a result can do, isn't it? It's amazing what one result can do in terms of the perception of the Manchester United squad. I was talking to Flex after the game actually last night, and we were both saying that, you know, we're still short. Make no mistake, it was a fantastic result, and you see Casemiro there, and it's a great signing, but we're still really short. But when you have a positive result, then you start to say, well, actually, Sancho and Rashford played really well. Imagine Antony in this side. Imagine having in Cody Gakpo into this side. Imagine, Casemiro into this side. Imagine if Frankie de Jong, it's not going to happen, but imagine getting those players into the side. You go, well, there's something positive there. So I really do at this point think that Antony is a real possibility, and I, to be honest, I expect Manchester United to sign him, to be honest, but it's just the money. The money doesn't change that for me. The money doesn't change that. It's still a lot of money. We're talking around 100 million euros. So what's 100 million euros into pounds? Sort of 70-ish million pounds, possibly a little bit more than that. And you still can't get away from those Ajax fans. For instance, when we were talking to the We Talk Ajax guys, and I've seen some clips of analysts covering the Eredivisie over the weekend, and they're all saying, unbelievable. Like, that is way too much money. It is still way too much money. But after last night, you do also say, but if Ten Hag wants him, if Ten Hag believes in him, and Ten Hag is saying, that's my guy, I look at someone like Lisandro Martinez and say, that was Erik Ten Hag's guy. Manchester United, the recruitment department, and Darren Fletcher wanted to sign Pau Torres in the summer, and Erik ten Hag said no, sign Lisandro Martinez. And we saw the performance last night that Lisandro Martinez delivered, and it was excellent, absolutely brilliant. I mean, just everything about it. I mean, we can go through individual players, and again, we will get to some of these fan views in a second from Flex, Cam, Marcel, etc., because I think they really do remind us of what was really a fantastic result last night. But you look at someone, like I said, that's an Erik ten Hag guy, like Lisandro Martinez, and you go, well, what other guys do you want to bring in? Because if they're going to deliver that kind of performance week in, week out, and when I say performance, not only technical quality, but also just, it was fight. That's the real thing that got me for Lisandro Martinez last night. It was his fight. It was his passion and desire, but that's what it was, and that's what a game like that needs. And sometimes as well, when you see defenders like Martinez and Varane celebrating, a tackle, or celebrating not letting the player get past, or celebrating whatever, you believe it as well. You believe and want that aggression as well. It fires up the crowd, and Old Trafford was rocking last night. And in little moments like that, getting a good tackle in, or preventing the player from going past, that's what built up the energy there as well. So again, whilst it's a lot of money, and I don't think I'll ever be able to justify the 100 million euro price tag, which I think Manchester United ultimately are going to spend at this point, I say, look, if Erik ten Hag believes in him, if Erik ten Hag believes that he's the right guy for Manchester United, bring him in. Absolutely bring him in, because I also think as well, from that right-hand side perspective, I thought Jadon Sancho was excellent last night, regardless of what Faz says on the player ratings. If you haven't seen the player ratings, go and watch them, because Faz said one of the wildest things about Jadon Sancho in terms of his performance and his weight. It was bizarre. Go and watch it. I can't do it justice with what I said, but it was bizarre. But the point being is that I look back at that game last night, and I look at, Sancho and Rashford played really well. Imagine then they went, okay, 65 minutes, we're going to bring on Antony and Cody Gakpo. You go, oof, Liverpool aren't getting let up. They're not getting let off here. They're not getting let up here at all. So, again, I think that that's a positive move for United. But make no mistake, one good result does not mean we should let up when it comes to the transfer window, and it also doesn't mean we should let up when it comes to the ownership situation as well, it must be said, because we're going to talk about that when it comes to the protest as well. But when it comes to Antony, as I mentioned, I think as we get closer and closer to this deadline, I saw, wasn't it, him and his agents were watching the game last night, and clearly he and his agents want that move. They're trying to force that move. It feels like, I mean, the We Talk Ajax guys were saying that might be more on the agent side of things. But as we have learnt this summer, when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo, agents don't do things independently of the player. You know, the agents don't go out and just do stuff, and then the player goes, oh, I don't know what they're doing. What? They're doing that? I never said them to do that. Agents act on behalf of the players. So they'll ask, okay, should we start doing things? Should we start forcing this move through? And they'll go, yeah, that's what they want. And ultimately, I think it's going to get to a point where it's just United will go back in for this next bid. I don't know if it'll be 100 million euros. It might be just a little bit closer. It might not be exactly 100 million euros, but that might be close enough. And Ajax might think, you know what? Let's weigh all of this up. Close to 100 million euros. You've got a player that doesn't want to be here and wants to force the move through. And we're going to bring in Hakim Ziyech for like 8 million euros. It all adds up to Antony leaving and becoming a Manchester United player, I believe. So I do think we'll see Antony in a red shirt of United very, very soon. But what do you think? Let me know in the live chat. Wentali says voted. Appreciate the votes. Wentali referring to the Football Content Awards. Of course, you can get your vote or nomination. It's at the nomination stage, but you can get your nomination in the video description. I'll get there in the end. Don Mooney Gaming says Sancho goal was fire. I love the composure for it. I really did. I love the composure for that goal. Just the way he sat Milner down, sat Alisson down, and just slid it into the corner. Fantastic. Tabislow, big up Tabislow, of course. He's legendary mod member. A member of the UV Members Club, that is, not just member of the community. UV Members Club, the link is in the video description to join the UV Members Club. You get your badges, you get your emojis, and you get your exclusive members-only content, such as our exclusive series as part of the UV Members Club, which is UV Raw. I was filming some bits behind the scenes yesterday for that. Excellent. Including when our fearless leader, Flex, was on Sky. I don't know if you saw this. Monday Night Football, top of the hour. I believe it was around 7 p.m. I mean, the coverage started at 6:30. I think it was at 7. Flex was on there. The hat was turned backward. He was talking about the ownership, representing, making us proud. I was filming our reaction to all that when he was on the TV at the time. It's excellent. So you can check that out on UV Raw if you're a member of the UV Members Club. Big up Tabislow as well. Michael says Ronaldo is not the future of United. Govin says we still need a right back. Would absolutely help. Wayne says Sancho just needs Bruno to point to the goal more. And Don Mooney says Dallo is okay, but we need a right back. So be sure to smash a like on the like button as well. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Let's get to, speaking of Flex, let's get to Flex's view from last night. As I mentioned, he gave his view on Manchester United's 2-1 victory over Liverpool at Old Trafford. So what did Flex think of the game? Let's take a closer look.
Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Unbelievable performance, unbelievable atmosphere, and an unbelievable result. It was absolutely brilliant all the way through the game. Yes, we conceded late on, but that shouldn't cloud what a great performance that was. I'll hold my hands up straight away. I could not see that coming, and you saw my predictions. You saw how I was feeling about the game, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were as well. I spoke about it before the game, or some of the pros about it, in terms of how fragile Liverpool are and where we could hurt them, and we absolutely did it. But forget tactics and stuff like that. We did all the basics right. From minute one, we were absolutely in their faces. We didn't allow them any time on the ball. And the crowd fed off that energy from the players. And even if you rewind a little bit further before the game, the protests out here done in the right way, I haven't heard anything bad from that. I just feel like the whole place was just lifted by the unity of the fans. I actually do feel that. And I feel like that energy was transferred into the ground when it was absolutely packed. There was a little bit about #empty Old Trafford, but I think that's why I was saying in the previews and some of the shows we've been doing, be in there, be loud, be vocal. There was so much chanting, towards the Glazers and the ownership inside the stadium, loud and proud. And the players just fed off that energy. And they gave a bit back from minute one. Malacia straight in on Mo Salah. Diogo Dalot straight in on Luis Diaz. Martinez straight in on Bobby Firmino, or just winning duels. Unbelievable. And you know what? Erik ten Hag, I think we're starting to get a glimpse just in that game. And I know it's only one game, but it's been too negative. It's been so bad for so long. I'm not doing any of the not get carried away thing. I'll do that a little bit towards the end when I dissect the video, when I dissect the performance, or after I finish dissecting the performance. But Erik ten Hag, I think we've started to see a little bit of what he's about. Actually, a lot of what he's about. Because, you know, I always say that line of when he said, I can look players in the eye and make big decisions. He made big decisions today, bold decisions, that if they went wrong for Erik ten Hag today, the hounds would have been out. The pressure was on. Could he demand a reaction from his players? Could he get a reaction after how bad we were against Brentford? And he absolutely nailed it. The players were committed. The players were smart. The players were passionate. And those three things allowed us, they gave us the springboard for then quality, the fourth thing, to come through and shine. Because you don't get the quality to shine unless your basic application in the game is spot on. That's all we had to do, was be on it, was be in their faces and show that we wanted that game and we wanted to win the game from the offset. In the first 3 minutes, like I said, when you go smashing into tackles, it gets the fans up. You know, the raw...
So there you go, bit of a teaser, bit of a tease of Flex's match view. You can check that out, or Flex's view rather. The full video is still live on the channel, so be sure to check that out once we've finished here, or now, it's up to you. It's up to you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We've got over 1,700 people watching. We can get to 500 likes this morning, even though it's a bit of a different show, as you see. We're going to be talking some transfer stuff. We're going to be getting into some reactions from the game last night as well, because I don't want to skip over what was really, truly an excellent result as well last night. And a result, honestly, I really didn't see coming. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I really saw that performance coming. I honestly went into that game and felt that I was going to see a 5-6-0, 7-0 loss. Honestly, I did. I was nervous. I was terrified going into it. And I thought United were excellent. And I think Erik ten Hag, honestly, he deserves just so much credit. He really does. Not only did he get every big decision right last night, but he managed in 7 days to galvanize that team and make them run and make them care and make them want to win and fight to win in 7 days' time. How he managed to invigorate those players within 7 days, coming from that 4-0 loss against Brentford to running and outrunning Liverpool last night, a team that's known for running, a team that's known for pressing, and a team that's known for just outworking their opposition. And how he managed to do that in 7 days, he deserves just an absolute ton of credit, because I think he got absolutely everything right. And again, I think that last night should serve as a message to the board, as to say, actually, you know what? Back this manager. This is the guy. And I know one performance and one result doesn't make a great manager, but clearly he got it so right last night. And make no mistake, I know Liverpool weren't good, and I know that Liverpool aren't at their best, and they haven't been this season so far, but that is still a result that nobody saw coming. And it's because of the manager that he managed to inspire those players, pick the right team, make big decisions. And as he said after the game, we play effing good football. I wish I could drop the F-bomb, but it's still early in the morning. So, again, I think he deserves a ton of credit, and I think he needs to be backed 100%. A couple of super chats here. WJ Barrett, good morning, WJ Barrett. I'm loving the positivity, as always. Says, Owen, you all laughed at me. Told you and Marcel. WJ Barrett is one of the most positive people ever. He is right up there with Marcel. So, WJ Barrett, appreciate the contribution, and keep the positivity going. Let's keep it rolling until next weekend. Lil Yo-Yo says, how long has it been since a left-back overlapped? Well, look, Terrell Malacia was absolutely excellent. I mean, really, really was. I mentioned it on Twitter after the game. Terrell Malacia last night saw that left-back spot, grabbed it, and whilst he grabbed it, he said to Luke Shaw, you ain't getting this back. Because Terrell Malacia, in 90 minutes of play, became Manchester United's number one left-back. And that's not over-exaggerating. He was that good. He was absolutely fantastic. Energy, up and down, tracking back, going forward as well. You could say maybe his delivery needs to be a bit more, but his recovery runs. We see it all the time. Cam made a really good point in his fan view when he said that sometimes if the ball goes past Luke Shaw, he'll just start tucking and getting into the box. I'm not even going to get involved in the duel. I'm not even going to get involved in anything like that. I'm just going to go back into the box. Malacia was just at it. And again, I mentioned this too, that maybe it's an indictment where Manchester United have been and where we are, that we appreciate effort. But that's what we saw last night. Irrespective of quality, and this is the thing, and you noticed it last night at Old Trafford, if you put in the work, if you're trying, they're with you. We're with you. All we want is for you to try and care. All we want is for you to want to win, is for you to run. We know we don't have the best squad of players, but if we have the squad of players that is trying the hardest, that is running the most, that's all we care about. That's all we want, and that's what we saw last night. Attitude. You know, we know that we haven't got as good of a squad as Man City or even Liverpool or whoever it may be. But if you try, we're with you. The fans want to support the players. They always have. But for the last 18 months, 2 years, they've given us reasons not to. And last night, again, show effort. Show effort. And that's exactly what they did. Show effort, show attitude, show determination. And guess what? Not only do you get results, you get support too. And I think now is a big learning curve. I hope, anyway, for the players. And people like Malacia absolutely just completely personified that. Just effort, energy, desire, want to win. And he was going up against that right-hand side, which is brutal for Liverpool in Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And a couple of times it was 2-on-1. And I'm not going to say, Malacia had Salah in his pocket the whole night because Salah didn't get past him. No, it did happen on a couple of occasions. But in terms of Terrell Malacia making the step up from the Eredivisie, from Feyenoord, and going up against Mo Salah for 90 minutes and holding his own, I think he deserves an absolute ton of credit. I really do. I think he deserves a ton of credit, and he's United's left back going forward. And this is what we were saying in pre-season, right, about Malacia, is that he just needs that opportunity. He just needs that opportunity to play those games, and then suddenly Luke Shaw will be like, I've got to do something, because those players that didn't get picked by Erik ten Hag last night, those players that were dropped, your Luke Shaw, your Harry Maguire, Cristiano Ronaldo is involved in that as well, they will struggle to get back in now, and they shouldn't get back in. Because, and again, this isn't agendas against Maguire and against Ronaldo, but I saw a group of players last night that were running and wanted to play for the manager, and, you know, they embraced the pressure of that game, and they thrived under it, and they didn't hide away from it. They showed character. I mean, also, I was concerned when we conceded the goal that we were going to collapse. We didn't. And those players that didn't play, they're going to really struggle to get back in. I really, really do. Stephen Grant says, told you at the forum we would win. Crackhead, no. Well, there you go. Stephen Grant. Is that one of Moon Knight's personas, Stephen Grant? I believe it is. But you've maybe moved on from crackheadness to the hopium. We're all on the hopium. Hopium for everyone this morning. There is hope, finally. I feel like Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One. Hope. You know, that's what I feel like this morning. There maybe is a little bit of hope. We've got nearly over 1,900 people watching, so let's see if we can get to 500 likes early. This would be tremendous this morning. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's move on as well and talk about Antony and Cody Gakpo. I know we talked about Antony this morning, but another person looking like they are going to be coming into Manchester United is PSV winger Cody Gakpo. And Laurie Whitwell from the Talk of the Devils podcast has said, it seems Antony and Cody Gakpo is the final choice for Manchester United. As we'd heard a couple of days ago, it's not one or the other. Seemingly it's both for Manchester United. Now, he does mention that Antony is the one he's hearing the most about, but it was reported this morning in the Telegraph in Holland, of course, major reputable outlets, where we've seen Marcel van der Kraan talking a lot about Ajax in recent days. This comes from, now this pronunciation is going to be a challenge, Jeroen Capitans. I feel that's wrong. The We Talk Art guys can let me know in the group chat we have afterwards, because I want to get the pronunciations right. Nevertheless, he has said in the Telegraph this morning, it is now clear that Cody Gakpo is interested to sign for Manchester United and work together with manager Erik ten Hag. Fabrizio Romano also saying that Cody Gakpo would be prepared to accept Manchester United in case they will submit an official proposal to PSV in the next days. Gakpo and his agents are waiting. It's up to the club, but the focus is on Antony. So I believe, and this is just my sort of feeling on this, my sort of general impression is that the focus right now, seemingly, is on Antony, because that's the more complex deal to do. And when I say complex, it's just, do we really want to spend 100 million euros, or do we want to get closer to that number, add-ons, possibly Antony forces the move through, Ajax gets Ziyech done? That's the longer and maybe more complex deal to do. Maybe the feeling is, and certainly from an outsider looking in, is that the Cody Gakpo deal is maybe easier and it's more simpler to do. I.e., we know really what PSV want in terms of a price. They want rather sort of 35, 38 million pounds. Yes, we might have to wait until after the Champions League qualification match against Rangers. I believe that is that this week. It was the first leg was last week, so I believe the next one will be this week. But irrespective of that, and this was my concern initially, was, well, what happens if PSV get into the group stage? If they qualify for the group stage, then what? Is it going to be a case of, well, we don't need to sell anymore? Is it going to be a case of Cody Gakpo saying, actually, well, I want to play with PSV in the Champions League? Would it be more expensive because PSV then have that Champions League money? But by all accounts, it's kind of redundant and it's irrelevant. Irrespective of if PSV qualify for the Champions League group stage proper or not, Cody Gakpo wants to join Manchester United, and that price will still be what it is, which is around, as mentioned, 35, 38, 40 million pounds. And the general feeling is that if United submit that offer, the deal will get done, and Cody Gakpo wants to join Manchester United as well. So that's why my feeling is, anyway, is that they're focusing on Antony now because it's slightly more complex, but that Cody Gakpo deal, I believe, will happen as well. And again, I also look at it as I said, it is so wild. I was talking about this before the game, actually. I think it was with DJ before we went live. Just how crazy it is that a win can change things. And I look back to last summer and our transfer window last summer when we signed Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo, and we're talking like we could challenge for the league. We could win a league title. We could go for the league title. Yeah, absolutely. Couple of bad results and suddenly it's we need 10 players. That's how quickly things can change in football, and reality really bites. And you look at last night, and I still don't look at a squad that's complete or can do major things this season. But after a victory and that kind of attitude and performance against a Liverpool side, you then look at an Antony or a Cody Gakpo and say, man, if you add those players in there and you get Casemiro in, it's not a bad squad. I'm not saying we're going to win the league or anything like that, but you say, well, maybe we can get fourth. Maybe. Why can't we compete for Europe? And again, I know it's one win, and we could just as easily on the next game. Who have we got? Is it Southampton or is it Leicester? I believe it's either one. We could lose that and suddenly we're miles off it again. But just my point is perception. Perception is a big thing. But again, I go back to the earlier point. If you looked at last night and the performance that Sancho and Rashford had, imagine bringing on Antony and Cody Gakpo into that. Imagine taking McTominay out of that team last night, who I think did a fine job. I think he kept it simple, which is what he needs to do, and I thought he showed energy. But imagine taking McTominay out of that and putting Casemiro in that side. You go, that's good. That is good. So I think there are massive positives, but as I mentioned, it shouldn't stop us from focusing on getting more players in, because Erik ten Hag is still massively short. Erik ten Hag still needs players. Erik ten Hag still needs to get new signings, or Manchester United need to get new signings in for Erik ten Hag, clearly, because we can't still go through the season with the squad that we've got. Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho played really well last night, but what if they get injured? What if they're suspended? What if they're ill? Then what? Then who do we bring on? I thought Alanga played well last night. I was surprised that he started, but I thought he did well in the first half. I thought he was unlucky when he hit the post as well. I thought he couldn't have done much more when it came to that finish. So I guess that's a positive. But we need more. We still clearly need more in those attacking areas. We're still very short in the strength and depth, and you can't overlook when it comes to Rashford and Sancho that they were poor last season. Rashford's been poor for 18 months, possibly 2 years, and one good performance doesn't mean that he's out of it. It doesn't. It doesn't mean he's out of that poor vein of form, because he could drop a clanger in the next game and suddenly it's back and we need Cody Gakpo. So again, last night's performance shouldn't deter us from bringing people in. But also, last night's performance, again, should not pull us away from still what is the biggest issue at Manchester United too. Right, that should still be the big point of contention here is that the biggest transfer we want to see at Manchester United is the Glazers being transferred out the club and new ownership coming in. Of course, last night there were major and mass protests before the game, during the game, after the game. Those protests will continue, I'm sure, throughout the season, and they will continue until we have new owners at Manchester United. Don't get it twisted and don't be confused here. Just because we had an excellent performance last night, just because we had our first victory of the Premier League season, just because we're signing Casemiro and we're probably going to sign Antony and Gakpo and who knows who else will sign between now and the end of the window, it doesn't change the fact that the way that these owners have run this club, particularly in the last decade, but frankly since they came in, is unsustainable. And when I say unsustainable, I mean financially, and I also mean in terms of success. And we can't let last night's result divert our attention from that. And it's difficult not to. You woke up this morning, I did, going, yes. After the game, I was filled with, yes, we won that game. But you can't let it distract you, as Gary Neville said, and these owners still need to go. Last night, we didn't win that game because the owners are great owners. No, they're still absolutely cancerous to this club. They have been. Manchester United is less valuable than it's ever been. You know, in the last decade or so, the share price will still go down. The only reason it's gone up recently is because people think there is going to be a sale, and there should be a sale. There's factions within the Glazer family at the moment, with some people thinking, yeah, maybe we should get out of the club. So again, last night's result and last night's and any signings we make, that shouldn't distract us from what is the biggest issue. And regarding these protests as well, as I mentioned, they were before the game. Obviously, there were chances of we want Glazers out and banners up in the stadium. Obviously, Glazers out was trending worldwide on social media, and hopefully it continues to do so because, as I've said a million times before, you just have to keep the conversation going. You have to keep the conversation going. Takeovers don't happen like that. They don't happen that quickly, and a takeover of this size... A takeover of this size might take a year. It might take 2 years. It takes as long as it takes, in my opinion. You know, as long as it gets done, and that's what I hope. So regarding these protests, as I mentioned, Flex was there at the protest before the game. So let's have a closer look at Flex at these protests and his view on it.
What's going on, people? We're here outside Old Trafford. As you can see, the fans are congregating to make their voices heard. At the end of the day, this is what it's about. Everybody's doing it in the right way. The cavalry's coming in from across the Sir Matt Busby Way over to the front of the Old Trafford, well, at the front of the megastore right here. And everybody's unanimous in what they have to say. We're doing our part. We're here to be inside it as well and to give you guys that action. But at the end of the day, every Manchester United fan is making their voice heard, and that's what it's about. It's about coming together against the common goal, which is the Glazers, and doing it in the right way, peacefully, lawfully, but loudly, and not going away. So that is what is happening here, and I'm sure it's going to get a hell of a lot louder than that as these guys come in from across the bridge now. It looks very organised. I can see the 1958 banners over there, and the police are just ushering them in slowly. You've got Liverpool fans over there waiting to get to the game. And that's what it's about. And I just really hope that everybody sticks to the plan and sticks to the script, because this is really, really powerful. It's already been the biggest protest I've seen for a number of years. So hopefully it goes in this vein and we get what we need out of it, which is the Glazers understanding that we're not happy as Manchester United fans and we want change.
So there you go. There's a little bit of an insight into the protest before the game yesterday at Old Trafford, before that victory over Liverpool. And as I mentioned, the conversation still needs to keep going. Irrespective of victories, irrespective of signings, it should all keep going. And the biggest transfer that we want to see are the Glazers out of this club, 100%. Be sure to smash a like on the like button as well. We're less than 50 likes away from 500. We've got nearly 2,200 people watching, so be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. As mentioned, you can join the UV Members Club by clicking the link in the video description. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your exclusive members only content. And as I said at the beginning of the video, we're going for some football content awards this year. We're going for best new content creator, best club content creator as well. The links to all of those are in the video description. You can go on Instagram. You just have to leave a comment tagging us at UnitedView TV. That's nominating us for those awards. Or you can go to the website, which is footballcontentawards.com/voting. Once again, that's footballcontentawards.com/voting, and you can nominate us there. There's two stages. There's a nominating stage and then a final voting stage. So if you do wish to nominate us, you can do that there. We really appreciate all of your support. The community is communitying at the moment and ever ever growing. I think we're on the road to 120k or something like that. I think we've just gone past 118k recently in terms of subscribers. So absolutely amazing. Your support is just the best. You guys are just the best. But basically, that's that. I could do a very nice or eloquent response, but you guys are just the best. That's what you are. You're just the best. Let's talk about Eric Bailly, because Eric Bailly is near enough a Marseille player at this point, and it's a loan deal but could become permanent in the future. Fabrizio Romano tweeted this morning and gave a here we go. So Bailly to Marseille is indeed happening. He said, quote, Eric Bailly deal completed and here we go confirmed. Been told Bailly will be at Carrington later today to say goodbye to his teammates. He will then fly to Marseille within the next 24 hours in order to join the club. The deal is a loan deal with a mandatory buy clause if Marseille qualify for the Champions League. Now, Romano doesn't say there, but as from what I had heard previously as well, this was going to be a deal whereby Bailly's wages were covered by Marseille as well. So Eric Bailly, his time and tenure at Manchester United looks to be done, unless of course Marseille don't qualify for the Champions League. That buy clause then isn't mandatory, but you could still argue they might still do the deal anyway. And look, just in terms of a retrospective about Eric Bailly and his Manchester United career and his tenure, it's just going to be one of... And I see it in the comments here. Tabislow says, I'm going to miss that guy. Steffi Jenk says, I will too. Lil Yo says, apparently the clause is 10 million euros. Yeah, they haven't said that, how much it is, I don't think. I mean, they might have, unless I missed it. But Chris says, cult hero. And Paul Lucas says, too bad. Bailly's a talented player, but the injury record is poor. And that's it really, Paul, isn't it? That really is truly it about the legacy and the history of Eric Bailly as a Manchester United player. It's that... you can never ever doubt the man's quality. And I think most times, 9 times out of 10, when Eric Bailly played for Manchester United, everyone said, what a player. You know, he's a really good player. He's a really good defender. He's a quality player. And I think everyone knows that, but his injury record, unfortunately, speaks for itself, doesn't it? It does. He's been at the club 6 years now, signed. He was Mourinho's first signing, was he not, from Villarreal in 2016. And... you know, since then, in the last 6 years, he's played barely over 100 games for Manchester United. And when I say 100 games, I don't mean 100 Premier League games. I mean 100 games in all competitions, competitively, in 6 years. And if you think about it, every year, whether it is the Europa League or the Champions League, most of the time, unless maybe on one occasion this wasn't the case, but most of the time, Manchester United are in, 4 competitions? Premier League, European, League Cup, FA Cup. So you're looking at a season of what? Possibly 40, 50, 60 games. You know, 60 is probably a push. But you're looking at a lot of games per season. And I know it's not possible to play every game, but to play just over 100 games in the last 6 years in all competitions goes to show his injury record. And it's almost like his playing style is a detriment to his own to his own health, because when he plays, he's so all in. And he's so erratic, and he is so slide tackles and sometimes fun to watch because of his unorthodox and unusual way of playing, but it leads up to him getting injured a lot. And unfortunately, that can only go on for so long, can't it? That can only go on for so long, because eventually, when is enough when it comes to someone with a fitness record? Because you know they're not going to be able to get over it. Obviously, with Eric Bailly, there's always been an element of hope. Can he get fit? Can he maintain fitness? And sometimes he would have a run in the team of 2 or 3 games, and you go, maybe this is it now. Maybe he's put that injury record in the past, but he never could. Now, maybe he will at Marseille. I don't know. I doubt it, honestly, that he'll go to Marseille and suddenly his injury record and his fitness record will be fine. You know, I mean, Johnny D says here, and I've seen this quite a lot too. He's been injury-free for the last 18 months, seems to have got over them, and then we get rid of him, typical. I would maybe push back on that slightly, Johnny, because for me, the reason that he has stayed injury-free the last 18 months is because he hasn't played. He's one of these players that if he plays, he gets injured because he's so full throttle 100%. And we've seen it, a run of 2 or 3 games, that's it. If he doesn't play and he's on the bench, he doesn't get hurt because he's not playing, unfortunately. And that is what it is. And I think, again, you look at the performance last night of Martinez and Varane, who, again, look, Rafael Varane, his injury record still is what it is. I thought he was excellent last night with Lisandro Martinez. That has to be our centre-back pairing. But there's also huge pressure on Rafael Varane to stay fit. He has to stay fit. Can he stay fit? I'm not holding out a ton of hope, I must be said. I'm not holding out a ton of hope that Varane will stay fit because the facts aren't there. But I hope. I really do hope he does, because if Varane can stay fit, that centre-back partnership that we saw last night can really do things for Manchester United. But again, almost like the Bailly situation, I'm not going to say Varane's fitness record is as bad as Bailly's, but you know in the back of your mind, you know, the injury is coming. You know it for a fact. But we just got to get back on that hopium, you know? Got to get back on that hopium. Geordie Joshua says, Owen, we understand on Bailly. My problem is Jones, Lindelof and Maguire. Well, Phil Jones, I don't even know if there's any pursuers for him. I'm absolutely with you that Phil Jones should leave Manchester United. There were options for him last January. Bordeaux made a bid and he said no. And I think he's in a similar situation to almost like I'm not saying Phil Jones is Gareth Bale, but I think Phil Jones sees it as I've got a contract at United, I don't want to go anywhere. So I'm not going anywhere. And that's the sins of the past on Manchester United. That's what you get if you give a guy a 5-year deal in 2019 where he didn't deserve it. He had not been playing at all. I think he played like one game and he was rubbish. It was against Sheffield United or someone like that. And then we gave him a 5-year contract. It's madness. And then you have to deal with that for 5 years. And that's what we're dealing with that at the moment with Phil Jones. Harry Maguire, look, his future might be up in the air. We know that Chelsea made that inquiry. Maybe after last night, you know, then maybe that inquiry holds a bit more weight. For me, Harry Maguire should not be in the next Manchester United side. He should not be in any Manchester United side. I remember before saying, obviously there's huge questions of doubt about his ability to be United's captain. But now, there's huge periods of doubt about him just to be a Manchester United player in terms of his quality. Make no mistake, if Harry Maguire played last night, we'd have had to play differently. Harry Maguire can't... Again, that sort of fight, and that's the difference. It's fight. It's not even really football related. It's just fight. It's aggression that we saw from Martinez and Varane last night. I don't see that in the way that Harry Maguire plays. He can moan and flail his arms and try and be a leader and try and be the captain, but he wouldn't have done that last night. And again, those players that didn't play, i.e. your Shaws, your Maguires, your Ronaldos, I don't see how they get back in. I really don't see how they get back into the Manchester United side and play like that group of players played last night. So that's the latest when it comes to Eric Bailly. Now, when it comes to goalkeepers, this was a story that kind of built up yesterday. And it was reported, I believe, in Germany initially. Now, Sky Sports News are reporting it this morning as well, that Manchester United are interested in signing Eintracht Frankfurt goalkeeper Kevin Trapp. Now, any formal talk offers are yet to be made, but Manchester United are still looking for a strong number 2 goalkeeper that could rival number 1 David De Gea. Now, last night was interesting when it came to David De Gea, wasn't it? Because we saw against Brighton, we saw against Brentford, Manchester United try and play it out from the back, and David De Gea try and play it out from the back. We saw a goal kick routine, which is actually the wide centre-back, Martinez or Lindelof sometimes, or Maguire, pass the ball to De Gea, and then De Gea has to pick up the pass. That didn't happen last night. That didn't happen at all. It was just go long. Just go long every single time. And I'm for it. I really am. I'm not of the mindset of trying to make players do something they're not capable of. Now, long term, you could absolutely argue, well, if you're not capable of doing it, then maybe you shouldn't be a player for Manchester United. And I'll hold my hands up about David De Gea. I've backed him, and I'll continue to back him as he is a good goalkeeper. I think people kind of can't differentiate the two. Can he do what Erik ten Hag wants him to do? No. Does that mean he should be playing for Manchester United? No, ultimately. You know, Erik ten Hag wants his goalkeepers to be doing a certain thing. If his goalkeeper can't do it, then he shouldn't be playing for United. At the moment, and maybe if Kevin Trapp does coming, maybe Trapp just gets his way into the side because he can play with his feet. I don't know. But it doesn't make David De Gea a bad goalkeeper. He made some excellent saves last night. He did. He made a great save with his feet. I thought he was unlucky for the goal. I thought he made a decent save and we didn't react to it. But long term, is David De Gea the right option for Manchester United? The answer would be no. He's not, because Ten Hag wants to play out from the back and De Gea can't do it. And so much so that we've had to kind of tweak things and change things because we can't do what Ten Hag would want us to do. But I would say also last night, I don't. Liverpool can press so well from the front. Why would we play into their hands? And we didn't play into their hands last night. We went long. We played into channels, and it worked because we won the game. But can Kevin Trapp be Manchester United's number one? Probably not. Look, he's a number two. He's a number two. But the point is that if you've got a half-decent number two, with the way that some of De Gea's performances have been in those opening 2 games, not necessarily last night, who's to say he couldn't work his way into the side? You know, Greg says Jan Sommer could come in straight as a number one for a reasonable fee. By all accounts, Sommer says no to Manchester United. It's looking likely he's going to stay at Borussia Mönchengladbach. But he's a good keeper as well, and very good with his feet too. By all accounts, he has turned down United. But when I did see that link with Sommer, I was quite encouraged by that because, likewise, I'm a bit of a fan of his. And I thought that he could rival David De Gea in terms of what Ten Hag would want from the goalkeeper. So that's interesting when it comes to Kevin Trapp. I would keep an eye on that one because clearly United are still in the market for that goalkeeping position. And a number two possibly to rival David De Gea as well. Sangan says David De Gea swept well too. He did a couple of occasions. I think particularly was it in the first half when he came out and swept. He was high up. So I'll give him credit for that. Again, I think people struggle to differentiate. You know, yeah, he's not very good with his feet. Doesn't make him a bad goalkeeper. Just doesn't make him the right goalkeeper for Erik Ten Hag's system. Again, I thought he made some very good saves last night too. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We're already over 500 likes, so we've hit that target. Can we get to 750? If we get to 750 and I'm solo, I'm saying to Flex, look, it's possible. The community is strong this morning. We're basking in that glow of that result against Liverpool last night too. And be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner as well. So we heard Flex's view earlier on. Let's check in with Marcel, Mr. Positivity. This video is great, by the way. Not necessarily because of Marcel. Shout out Marcel as always. But Flex was enjoying the game so much at Old Trafford last night that he kind of lost his voice. Now, what do you do when you lose your voice? You need something to soothe your throat. An ice cream. Check it out.
I got no voice. That was a fantastic result, a fantastic performance. Yeah. Break it down, Marcel. How you feeling?
Passion straight away. Got the crowd lifted. That fight, that determination that we've been needing. The back four just looked brilliant today. No time on the ball. No Liverpool football player got time on the ball at Old Trafford. Locked it off for them. Simple. Malacia had Salah in his pocket.
How good was Malacia? Like, we've been crying out for that left back, that tenacity, that aggression, that front foot defending, that hunger, that desire, and bits of quality as well. How good was? Talk to me about Malacia, because that was a big game for him to get his debut. Yeah. Well, not debut, but his first start.
First start against Salah, hitting him hard straight away, letting him know there's no time here. Straight away, little pressure moment when he had to go back towards goal and play into Malacia. Everyone was thinking, are you going to make the pass into De Gea? Bit nervy, composed, into Martinez, sorry. And then out it goes again. Recycled the ball. Very, very aggressive. Fantastic performance from him. Fantastic performance. Even on the other side, Delo was up for it today.
He was up for it against Diaz. I didn't see Diaz a lot.
He hit him straight away. Let him know there's no opportunities here. That's what you want to see. We haven't seen that a lot from him. These players were up for it today. That back four, again, Varane and Martinez.
You're the man. You actually got me as well. Thank you. There's a random ice cream van just like by where we're filming. So I said, I need a 99 flake. You know what I mean? Any strawberry sauce? Any other sauce? Thank you. Not the strawberry, please. Thank you. I want a flake as well. I need it to soothe my throat, man. But yeah, carry on.
Varane, Martinez, good combinations as a back two. Every single time a Manchester United defender has done something well in that box, they're all high-fiving each other. They're all trying to encourage each other. Yep, that's what, more of the same. That's how it has to be. There was togetherness today. That midfield combination as well today was there.
Eriksen was good, man.
He was good.
Eriksen was good.
Composed on the ball, recycled the ball. There was times where we needed just someone to get the foot on the ball and make the right pass. Bruno a couple times lost the ball but in the first few minutes he's always trying to play through Rashford. We should have been free up. Rashford had a couple chances. Elanga hits the post. You know, there was opportunities there, and then Sancho has the opportunity to score.
What a finish, by the way, from Jadon Sancho. That looked like, that's the Jadon Sancho that we bought, arriving in them areas late, sitting people down, really good feet. When you see the replay, sits Milner down, touch with the left foot. Yeah. He just kills it. Oh, lovely. Look at this. Oh, my God.
It's bleeding red today.
Thank you.
Class personified. You know, really and truly, I mean, a great pass from Bruno into Eriksen, and then he's composed as well, has to take a good touch, find Sancho, little cut back and a good finish. You know, it's just good football. It was just good football. And then we go in half time and you're thinking, could have been 3 up, you know, plenty of opportunities as well, and we kept Liverpool relatively quiet. Again, you know, second half comes along.
I'm so sorry.
No, let's go. Second half comes along now.
No rules.
Yeah. Second half.
I love that video. I love it so much. I just love that, like, Marcel's talking really seriously about tactics and stuff like that, and Flex literally eating like that. Oh, brilliant. Only at United View. That is such a good video. I love it so much. Also, as well, like, when that's being filmed, that's what time did the game finish last? Like 9:30, 9:45? It's like it's like an ice cream at like 10:30 in the street. I love it so much. If that's not worth a like and a subscribe, I don't know what is. Shout out Flex, shout out Marcel, and shout out strawberry sauce as well. Oh, I love. Let me know what's your favorite topping on an ice cream. If you get say like a 99, or you get a cone from an ice cream van, what toppings are you going for? For me, it's strawberry sauce, maybe chocolate sauce, but I kind of. And I'm not massively usually a favor of, sort of fruit flavored sauces. But yeah, just on like a whippy, it's brilliant. Staffo saying Kinder sauce. Daz saying chocolate sauce. Michael saying no toppings, just likes the whippy. Fair enough. Yeah. Lil Yo-Yo says can't go wrong with a flake and strawberry sauce. Raspberry and a flake, or peanuts and chocolate sauce. Ah, that's interesting. Chris says chocolate for me as well. Ricardo chocolate flakes. Sancho sauce, says Kevin. Brilliant. Absolutely. Ed T says no sauce, you an animal. It's very interesting. Pyramid saying flake or mint. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm hungry now. I've already had my smoothie this morning, trying to be healthy. That might have to go out the window. But smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner as well. Finally, let's talk about... That's a great comment. Who said that? That's sweet. Muck sauce. Brilliant. That's the comment. That is the comment that we're looking for this morning as well. I believe, I might be wrong. I might have missed it. Here we go. He's back. He's back in the chat. Zayn Miassi is back in. Mum's credit card. It's early, but it's never early enough to spend on the Mum's credit card, Zayn. You're back. You're back in. Strap in, buckle in. Zane's in the chat, says, well done for winning the cup, of beating Liverpool and the Bangkok Cup. Well done to us. Thank you, Zane. I appreciate that. I also appreciate, we're giving out well dones. So you're saying well done to us. Well done to you. Well done to you. Won the league in August. Won your first 3 games in 15 years. That shows how good you've been for the last 15 years as well. That you're buzzing because you won the first 3 games against no big team. So let's see what happens when you play a big team this season, and start seeing when you turn on Arteta again. It's like, Arteta ounce, he's rubbish. We'll see what happens then, Zane. He's back once again, though. Mum's credit card is getting a hammer in this morning. United will be mounting under our attack when you come to the Emirates. Get ready. I'm ready, Zane. I am ready. We were ready last night. Pressure's on you. You should be beating us because you're so good. You're so good, Zane. So clearly you should be beating us. Since you've got, the second incarnation of the Invincibles, you've already got your gold trophy. You're buying those sort of replica Premier League trophies and wrapping them in gold wrapping paper or tinfoil, because that's what you should have on your head. Tinfoil. You're crazy, man. Need to calm down. Zane Miassi and the Mum's credit card. It gets me going in the morning. Let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. And Cristiano Ronaldo, by all accounts, remains determined to leave Manchester United. According to James Ducker of The Telegraph, says Cristiano Ronaldo remains determined to quit Old Trafford before the close of the transfer window. Now, why I wanted to bring this up, because I wanted to get basically you guys' I want to get your opinion. The grammar's on fire this morning. I wanted to get your opinion on this, because do you think last night was a kind of shifting in the position of Manchester United? All summer, we have heard Manchester United say, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not for sale, he's not for sale. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not for sale. Ronaldo has wanted to leave Manchester United all summer, clearly. Sirens are going for Zayn Miassi from the outrageous comments. They're ready as well. He's stolen the show, Zayn Miassi. Cristiano Ronaldo, is there a shifting in the guard, do you think, or the shifting in the position? Again, we've heard United say all summer that Ronaldo's not for sale, he's not for sale. We heard in the last week or so that Ten Hag's now become slightly indifferent on the situation. He'd be open to selling Ronaldo if he wants to leave. I think last night kind of proved, and again, this isn't me being flip-flop, you're flip-flopping or anything like that, but even when Ronaldo came on in the 85th minute, and again, it goes back to differentiating. This doesn't make him a bad player. It doesn't make him finished. It doesn't make him washed up. He's still Cristiano Ronaldo, but he can't play, again, the way that Erik ten Hag wants to play. He doesn't fit that system. It's the same as almost David De Gea. He can't play how Ten Hag wants him to play. If Cristiano Ronaldo started last night, I don't want to say we wouldn't have won, but we wouldn't have played the way that he did. You know, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have played in that style. We wouldn't have been pressing from the front. We wouldn't have had that fluidity. And I do look at last night's performance and I say, well, if we can get in another striker, and I do think we would need to get one in if Ronaldo went, because we still would be very, very light, would be even more light in attacking positions. But maybe it is right to let Ronaldo go. You know, it doesn't fit that system. Lil Yo-Yo brings up a good point here. I believe it depends on the opposition. I bet Ronaldo starts versus Southampton, and that might be true as well. We did see that last season, didn't we? I believe against Michael Carrick did it against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And it was kind of a similar reason, wasn't it? I need energy from the front. I need to press from the front in that game, and I want to be on the counter-attack, so I'm not going to play Ronaldo in that game. And maybe he does start versus Southampton. Maybe that's what Erik ten Hag's thinking, actually. You know what? Against those sort of smaller teams, or teams where we maybe don't need that much pressing from the front, maybe then Ronaldo stays. I'm not sure. But it's becoming more of a situation, I think, where the move is best for all parties at this point. You know, Ronaldo wants to leave. I think Ten Hag, it probably makes his life easier. United, Joel Glazer doesn't want Ronaldo to leave because he makes Manchester United money. But I do look at last night's performance, and I can see the positive. I can see the rationale for him leaving and how it would benefit our team in terms of the style of play that we have. But again, for me, it would depend on can we get a replacement in. And I must also say that Anthony Martial was absolutely sensational when he came on. You can see why Anthony Martial is Erik ten Hag's guy in terms of being a striker. He came on, he was brilliant. His link-up play, I was saying this in pre-season, but it was true last night too. Pre-season means nothing. But I was saying it last night too. His link-up play, in terms of having the ball at his feet with the back to goal, is just absolutely superb. A couple of times he receives the ball, back to goal, nearly on the halfway line. Virgil van Dijk's behind him like that. He still manages to turn him and lay the ball off. And again, going back to injury records, we spoke about this morning, haven't we, about Varane, etc. But it's kind of the same with Martial. The hopium is that he just needs to stay fit. If he can stay fit, and we saw how he played in those 45 minutes and in pre-season, then it might be completely, rejuvenated Anthony Martial. Whether or not that will stay the entire season, I don't know. But I can see the rationale of why there could be a good reason for Ronaldo to go. It's best for him. It's best for Erik ten Hag. It might not be best for United in terms of the pocket, but in terms of their pocket, in terms of money. But it just might be best for everyone involved, I think. And I think we could be moving towards that. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you're watching this after the fact. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. What a show this morning, by the way, guys. I know it's a solo stream. They can be a bit dry, a bit dull. You know, sometimes it's difficult because you don't have the other person to bounce the opinion off. But everyone's doing their own things this morning. As I mentioned, Flex and Josh are on their way back from Old Trafford. I don't know if it's as we speak, but that means there will be a road trip extra today. Got plenty of content coming up throughout the week. We are going to have a tactical view at some point this week, of course. Usually it's on a Monday, but the game was on a Monday, so that'll get shifted a little bit. But we'll have plenty of the good stuff coming this week as well. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, so you don't miss a single thing as well. As I mentioned, you can nominate us for the Football Content Awards as well. The particular categories we think we might be best suited for are in the video description, such as Best New Content Creator, Best Content Creator, Best Club Content Creator. You can click the links to go to the Instagram posts, and you can just nominate us there by tagging us in those posts. But if you wish to nominate us for those categories and others, you can also go to the website footballcontentawards.com/voting. Once again, that's footballcontentawards.com/voting. Appreciate everyone for tuning in this morning. Be sure to smash a like on your way out, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.